So, we finally got our hands on the SIRUI 40mm T1.8 1.33X S35 autofocus anamorphic lens. And after spending some time with it, we're here to share everything we've experienced. If you're into filmmaking, photography, or just love cinematic visuals, you might have already heard about anamorphic lenses. But autofocus in an anamorphic lens? That's something new. We took it out for a spin, tested it in different conditions, and now we're breaking down how it performs, what we liked, and what you should know before considering it for your kit. Let's start from the very beginning. Unboxing. The moment we got the box, it felt compact but well packed. Inside, we found everything nicely arranged. The lens itself, a front and back lens cap, a lens pouch, a strap, a warranty card, and of course, the usual paperwork. The packaging was secure, and everything inside felt premium. Holding the lens for the first time, we noticed how solid and compact it felt. At just 614 grams, it's lightweight for an anamorphic lens, which is a huge plus if you're planning to use it for handheld shooting or on a gimbal. The build quality is impressive, with a full metal body that gives it a professional feel. Right away, we could tell this lens was designed to be both functional and durable. One of the biggest selling points of this lens is its autofocus capability, something that's rare in anamorphic lenses. We tested it in different scenarios, and we were genuinely surprised by how fast and accurate it was. Its STM motor inside ensures smooth focusing, and it works well for both video and photography. When shooting moving subjects, we noticed that the autofocus tracked well. Whether we were filming a person walking through a scene or capturing details in a dynamic shot, the lens kept up without noticeable hunting. If you've used manual anamorphic lenses before, you know how tricky focusing can be, especially when you're working fast. With this, autofocus makes everything much easier. For those who prefer manual control, there's a manual autofocus switch, allowing you to switch seamlessly. This is great because sometimes, in controlled environments, we like to fine-tune focus manually for precision. Having both options in one lens is a big advantage. Anamorphic lenses are all about delivering that wide, immersive cinematic look, and this one does exactly that. With its 1.33X squeeze factor, we get an aspect ratio of 2.35 to 1 when shooting in a standard 16:9 mode. That means no excessive cropping or stretching in post-production. The first thing we noticed after shooting with it is how clean and detailed the footage looks. It captures sharp resolution without over-processing colors. Its natural color rendition helps keep the images true to life, while still having that subtle filmic touch. Chromatic aberration is minimal, and there's almost no noticeable focus breathing, which makes a big difference when pulling focus. Whether we were shooting landscapes, portraits, or fast-moving subjects, the lens kept everything crisp and smooth, making it a solid choice for professional video work. Two things that make anamorphic lenses special are the bokeh and lens flares. Shooting at T1.8, we instantly noticed how beautiful and natural the bokeh looks. The soft background separation creates an elegant, cinematic blur that helps subjects stand out without feeling artificial. At its widest aperture, the bokeh appears slightly hexagonal, which is a unique characteristic of this lens. When stopped down to T2.4, it transitions into the classic stretched elliptical shape that many filmmakers love. As for flares, SIRUI offers two options, classic blue and neutral flare. Its blue flare gives a distinct, sci-fi inspired look, great for stylized projects like music videos or futuristic scenes. And its neutral flare adapts to different light sources, making it more versatile for commercial or interview shoots. No matter which version you use, the flares add character without being overpowering. Since this lens has a fast T1.8 aperture, we wanted to see how it performs in low light. Shooting in dim conditions, we were able to keep ISO settings low while still getting bright, clean images. Many anamorphic lenses struggle in low light, requiring higher ISOs, which can lead to noise and grain. Here, that's not an issue. its large aperture lets in enough light to maintain image quality without sacrificing sharpness. Even at night, subjects remain well defined, and background lights create that beautiful cinematic glow without losing detail. This is especially helpful for handheld or run-and-gun shooting, where lighting isn't always perfect. The balance of light, contrast, and sharpness makes it a great lens for capturing moody, atmospheric scenes without the need for excessive post-processing. With a 0.6 meter minimum focus distance, we found this lens to be surprisingly versatile. Many anamorphic lenses require a lot of space to achieve proper focus, but here, we were able to get closer to our subjects while maintaining that signature anamorphic compression. This was particularly useful for portrait shots, where we wanted the background to separate naturally while keeping the foreground elements in focus. The transition from sharp focus to blur is smooth and natural, without any harsh fall-off. This makes it easier to direct the viewer's attention without feeling forced. Whether filming close-ups of objects, faces, or intricate details, the lens delivers a professional-level depth of field without making focus adjustments difficult. Now, let's talk about the usability of this lens. At just 1.35 pounds, it's super compact compared to other anamorphic options. We mounted it on different rigs, including gimbals, car rigs, and handheld setups, and had no trouble balancing it. This makes it a practical choice for solo shooters and small production teams. Another great feature is the stepless aperture ring, allowing smooth exposure adjustments without sudden jumps. This is especially useful when transitioning between different lighting conditions while filming. Also, having an AFMF button gives us flexibility depending on the scene we're shooting. Now, you may be wondering, who is this lens for? Well, this lens is ideal for independent filmmakers, content creators, and even photographers who want to add a cinematic touch to their work. The autofocus feature makes it accessible to those who may not have experience with manual anamorphic lenses, and the compact size makes it easy to use in different shooting scenarios. If you're used to working with traditional anamorphic lenses, this one will feel like a breath of fresh air because of how convenient it is. On the other hand, if you've never used an anamorphic lens before, this is a great entry point since it removes many of the complications that typically come with them. After spending time with the SIRUI 40mm Autofocus Anamorphic lens, we can confidently say that it delivers on its promises. The autofocus is fast and reliable, the image quality is sharp, and it offers that beautiful anamorphic aesthetic with smooth bokeh and natural lens flares. The T1.8 aperture ensures excellent low-light performance, and the compact design makes it easy to handle. Overall, this is a breakthrough for anamorphic lenses, especially for those who want an effortless shooting experience without sacrificing image quality. Whether you're shooting films, music videos, or creative projects, this lens brings a cinematic look in a user-friendly package. If you've been looking for an anamorphic lens that balances performance, affordability, and convenience, this might be the one to consider. So that's all about the SIRUI 40mm. Do let us know what you think about this. As for everything else, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.